In this screencast, I like to go over the 4 tabs that are at the top of every Schoology page. Okay, so let's start with the Home tab. Now the Home tab is what we're on right now, and you'll notice that the Home tab has a number of things here. There's a list of things over here. I'm not going to go through these. I'm going to go through these, however, and I want to go through what's over here on this side as well. Now your Home tab has your constant update for whatever groups you belong to. So for example, if I belong to the math department, every time someone posts something in that group, it will show up in my feed. It'll show up at the very, very top. And then I can go ahead and like or comment or whatever I need to do on that if the person enabled it. Now, if you'll just scroll with me, you can see that I belong to the SHC library. I belong to SHC Spirit. Looks like the library posted again. There was something on the Schoology blog. Here's something that I posted under faculty and staff. Schoology blog. It's faculty and staff. Dr. Musalam is talking about the TEDx assignment or the TEDx event that's going to be occurring, and you can see how people can react. Now, everybody's Home tab will be different because everyone belonged to a different set of groups. So I want to skip over this one right now. It's an important one, but let's just go right to the groups. And I click on groups, and you will see all the groups that I belong to. Okay, so there's quite a few. And you can just join a group. Once you find a group and do a quick search, you can, if you do see all, for example, or you want to create a group or want to do a search of a group, you can join any of them that you want. Now, I would suggest that you join whatever learning team that you're part of. So go through the search and look for the learning team. Sometimes you have to be invited. If that's the case, then your department chair or whoever the learning team leader is can invite you to whatever learning group you're part of. I suggest you also belong to the department that you belong to. So if you belong to math, you should belong to the math department. You can see how I did that here. Everyone, I think, should also belong to the SHC library. It's a very active group. There's lots of postings and information that you could use. Everyone should belong to faculty and staff. Everyone should belong to, let me get the last one, SHC Spirit. Okay? So those are mandatory, and I would like you to join a group. I would like you to join those groups. Okay, so just again, real briefly, your learning team, your department, okay, SHC Spirit, where is it? SHC Spirit, SHC Library, and I believe, oh, you should also belong to your first year teachers because that's going to be a source of information for you, okay? So please join those groups. Let's look at these other 2 tabs right now. Under courses, strange enough, it's going to be the courses that you're going to be teaching this year. Now, I'm teaching these 3, and then I've created these 2 because I'm also doing training. For example, you guys right now, this is the group that we belong to right now, the course rather we belong to right now, and you've all joined that. And here's your Schoology course that we're going to be doing is for training. You can just join it if you have the correct code, okay? And the code is usually given to you. If you click here where it says See All, you'll just see all of them in a slightly different format, but the nice thing about this is you can also see what's been archived from past years, okay? And you still have access to any of that information, which is kind of a nice thing. So that's under the Courses tab, okay? Usually when you start class, I would suggest going to that particular block and then clicking on that block and then seeing what you have for the day. Finally, the last thing I wanted to show you was resources. Now, this is I think a somewhat underutilized tab, but you can keep personal You can keep personal things in here, like for example, I've had some projects, warm-up quizzes, etc., etc. I didn't really use it quite a lot. Um, if you have the public resources, for example, these are things that are shared by people really all around the world who are using Schoology, and it might be just interesting to go through it on your own and just see what kind of things people are posting. Like here's something on chemical reactions. A lot of this is shared stuff from schools across the country, which is kind of neat. So you're belonging really to the Schoology families when you're doing this. Um, group is usually your particular groups in our school. You can see what's been going on here over the years. So here's from 2013, here's from 2014, etc. So groups that are created during the school year, for example. And let's look at this last one. And these are apps. And we don't use apps here too often. At least I don't. And so you might just want to forget about that for right now. Okay? So I hope that was helpful. Remember, the home feed shows up all the updates from the groups that you belong to. You can belong to any groups that you want, okay? But I suggested 4 or 5, I think, that you need to do. Your courses are where your classes are, okay? And then the resources are from personal, your own, public from all around the Schoology world. Then the groups that we have in particular here at school, and then the apps is, like I said, a rather new one that's kind of not used much. And then finally, off to the right-hand side are upcoming events that are and due dates, okay? And those are done by calendaring them in when you create assignments and that sort of stuff. I hope that was helpful.